Did one cold glance just define two of Hollywood's brightest young stars? When Jenna Ortega approached Rachel Zegler at an event 2 years ago, all smiles and warmth, the world caught a split-second moment that said it all. Rachel turned away, eyes icy, leaving Jenna hanging in a silent exchange that would later become a symbol of their careers heading in totally opposite directions. What looked like a small snub in a blink of a camera flash revealed something bigger. A clash of attitudes, values, and how each star connects with the legacy of the roles they take on. Jenna Ortega's career didn't happen overnight. She fought through countless auditions, took small parts, and built her reputation step by step. When she finally landed Wednesday Addams, Jenna didn't just show up on set to read lines. She dove deep into the character's history, studying past performances and bringing a fresh, authentic take that still respected what made Wednesday iconic. She learned the cello, picked up fencing, and fought to keep Wednesday true to her dark, deadpan roots, even when producers wanted to lighten the character for mainstream appeal. That commitment paid off massively. Wednesday shattered streaming records, making Jenna an instant cultural phenomenon and a trusted name among both fans and industry insiders. Rachel Zegler, on the other hand, launched straight into the spotlight. Chosen by Spielberg for West Side Story and then cast as the live-action Snow White, Rachel's rise looked like a fairy tale. But the dream started unraveling as soon as she began discussing her vision for Snow White in interviews. She openly trashed the 1937 classic, calling it weird and criticizing the love story at the center of the original. Rachel made it clear she wanted her Snow White to ditch romance entirely, focusing on self-empowerment instead. While that might sound inspiring to some, it felt dismissive to longtime fans who cherish the magic and heart of the classic fairy tale. The shock grew when Rachel admitted she was scared of the original film, had only seen it once and never watched it again. For many, it sounded like she had no love or respect for the character she was about to embody. Meanwhile, Jenna Ortega was busy proving that you could modernize a character without erasing what made them beloved. Her Wednesday was fierce and fresh, but deeply respectful of the Addams legacy. She connected with old fans and won new ones, building a reputation as someone who honored the material. This authenticity started to look even more powerful as Rachel's interviews turned more controversial, and fans began questioning whether she even wanted the role she'd been given. As rumors swirled about a secret Disney project, codenamed Blue Wave, a potential Shrek-style crossover with bold, gender-swapped characters, the contrast between Jenna and Rachel deepened. Insiders said Jenna raised concerns about the project's direction, feeling it disrespected the classic stories it aimed to remix. She made it clear she didn't want to star in spin-offs that flipped existing male characters into female versions just for shock value, preferring to see new, original legends created for women instead. Her honesty may have cost her a big Disney paycheck, but it cemented her integrity in the eyes of fans and industry pros. Meanwhile, Rachel reportedly backed the project's controversial approach, fully embracing the radical reimagining. Rachel's troubles didn't end with awkward interviews or bold takes on classic stories. When Snow White finally hit production, Disney found itself in full damage control mode. The budget ballooned past $200 million, fueled by delays and reshoots, turning a remake into one of the most expensive gambles in Disney's history. When the film finally released, it bombed spectacularly. Critics slammed it as soulless, audiences stayed away, and box office numbers collapsed by more than 50% in the second weekend. The buzz was ice cold, and Rachel's star dimmed almost overnight. While Rachel's momentum faltered, Jenna kept climbing, taking unexpected, bold roles like the R-rated horror comedy Death of a Unicorn with Paul Rudd. Even though the movie wasn't a blockbuster, it showed she wasn't afraid to take creative risks and prove her range. Meanwhile, word spread in Hollywood that casting directors were becoming wary of Rachel, worried her controversial interviews and public stumbles might turn off audiences. Offers slowed, and her name stopped lighting up casting shortlists. Things took a strange turn when Rachel jumped on social media with a bold pitch to join the Star Wars universe. She pointed out her initials matched the RZ-1 A-Wing starfighter from Star Wars lore, offering herself up to voice Poe Dameron's mother, Shara Bay. But fans didn't buy it. Memes and jokes spread fast, calling the move desperate and awkward. Hollywood insiders wondered if she was trying too hard to cling to the spotlight. Rachel's troubles piled on when reports surfaced that she'd been dropped from Paddington 3. The official line blamed scheduling conflicts from the actor's strike, but other actors in the same situation were still attached. The timing, coming right after the Snow White meltdown, made it look like another quiet consequence of her rising controversies. Then came another blow. During a tense period in global politics, Rachel posted a statement supporting Palestine on social media. While everyone has the right to speak on political issues, the timing and bluntness of her message stirred even more backlash in an already difficult moment for her career. Fans and critics alike debated whether she was sincere or simply stirring controversy. Through it all, Jenna Ortega stayed grounded. She's spoken about Hollywood's obsession with political correctness, but does it thoughtfully, pointing out how forced messages can kill real storytelling. Her measured approach helped her avoid the kind of heat Rachel kept attracting. Jenna's fans see her as authentic, and casting directors trust her to deliver performances that honor characters without overshadowing them with off-screen drama. While Rachel scrambled to keep her career on track, Jenna's star rose higher. She turned down flashy projects like the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot, choosing roles with depth over easy blockbusters. Directors began writing parts specifically with Jenna in mind. Industry insiders noted that she's seen as a long-term player, someone dependable who will do the homework and bring a character to life with real commitment. What makes their stories even more striking is that 2 years ago, the tables were flipped. Rachel was landing massive roles while Jenna was still grinding through bit parts. Now Jenna has become a cultural icon, especially with younger audiences who crave honesty and respect for what came before. Meanwhile, Rachel is stuck in damage control, her calendar looking emptier and her buzz fading fast. Some Disney insiders have even admitted they were disappointed by Rachel's attitude. When you're cast as a Disney princess, you're expected to become an ambassador for that legacy. Rachel's comments about hating the original film made that impossible. In contrast, Jenna's Wednesday team praised her commitment, sharing stories of how she insisted on keeping the character true to her dark, weird roots despite pressure to make her more mainstream. Behind the scenes, producers pushed Jenna to soften Wednesday's vibe, but Jenna refused, fighting for the character's integrity. That moment captured everything different about how Jenna and Rachel handle their roles. Jenna evolving iconic characters with respect, Rachel trying to overhaul them entirely. The difference is now painfully clear. Industry analysts say Rachel's mistake was treating her role as a platform to modernize rather than a chance to honor a beloved story. Fans don't watch Snow White for a lecture on outdated values. They watch for fantasy, magic, and timeless romance. Rachel's dismissive comments pushed away the very people she needed to win over. Their contrasting journeys carry a big lesson for every young actor. Authenticity matters. Jenna Ortega's interviews resonate because she speaks from the heart, even when awkward or imperfect. Rachel's statements often feel rehearsed or performative, which audiences pick up on instantly. There's nothing wrong with being political or outspoken, but when the message overshadows the magic of the character, people check out. It all comes down to one simple truth. Entertainment's first job is to entertain. Forgetting that, especially when taking on iconic roles, can sink even the most promising career. Studios share some blame too. Disney knew Rachel was outspoken when they cast her, but failed to guide her through the pressures of being the face of a legendary character. By contrast, Jenna's team on Wednesday nurtured her instincts, giving her space to make Wednesday her own. That trust turned into magic. Today, Jenna's trajectory points only upward. She's careful, thoughtful, and unafraid to walk away from roles that don't fit her vision. Rachel, meanwhile, stands at a crossroads. She has the talent to bounce back, but the next role she chooses could either reset her narrative or cement the damage already done. Every young actor watching these two stories unfold can see exactly what's at stake. Respect the role, respect the fans, and never forget that how you say something is just as important as what you say. Jenna's career isn't just taking off, it's setting a new standard for young stars, proving that you don't need to chase headlines to build a legacy. She's showing Hollywood and the world that staying true to yourself and the characters you bring to life still matters more than anything else. And in an industry desperate for authenticity, that's a rare kind of power. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Rachel can turn it around, or is Jenna the new gold standard for Hollywood's next generation? See you next time.